Hello guys. Welcome to another video. This is Wisdom King YouTube channel. By the way, subscribe over YouTube channel for more exciting videos of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Spoiler alert, in this video used images just for reference. Chapter 1. The Eve of the Festival. Part 13. If you haven't seen previous videos of Chapter 1 yet, take a look, there is a link in the description. Sir Rimuru, can we have some as well? He asked. If I recall correctly, this was Dolph, captain of the Pegasus Knights. Certainly. Go ahead. I'll have it brought over. As if on command, Hakuro's hands began moving at astonishing speed. The plates were quickly lined with fresh-made sushi, sashimi, and oswimono, a light seafood broth. These were brought over by our elf girl waitstaff, all arranged in a neat row in front of Gazel, Yoham, and the others seated on their pillows. Now, for the big moment. How would they react? Excellent as always. Ka. This is good. With a swig of chilled sake, Gazel grabbed a piece of sashimi and it certainly didn't seem to disappoint him. Yoham, meanwhile, was enwrapped at his first bite, expressing himself in his usual honest and very unnoble way. The rest of their friends had similar praise for it. I had no idea that monster fish could be so delicious. I thought fish wasn't good for much of anything apart from grilling. Hey, if it tastes good, you know. Yes, and certainly Sir Rimuru has never brought us anything short of excellent. Good. Glad I had everyone satisfied. And even better, a large number of people were observing their reactions. Me too. I'd like to have some. The moment one noble shouted that, a mad dash of orders for Hakuro ensued. Now it was a big hit, one that made Hakuro happy, if a little regretful. Yeah, I wasn't so sure he'd have something to enjoy with his sake tonight after all. I actually have another spear tuna on hand, let's surprise him with it afterward. After Hanata and Yuki kicked off with their light banter, they were exchanging heated opinions about every other topic in the world with each other, drinks in hand. It was hard to tell if they liked or hated each other, but their little debate over wasabi had turned this offering into a success story. It wouldn't be nice to interrupt them now, so I resolved to thank them later. So the party continued. So far, I'd call it a big success. All the food, Western and Eastern style, was earning raves. This was a come if you like thing. Nobody's attendance was required, but a lot of people showed up anyway. If we kept up relations with them all, I'd have to be sure to dangle these foodstuffs in front of their eyes and tell them we could get a regular supply going. This much, too, was as I'd planned it. This kind of on-the-ground PR was my job. I'm not just here to live it up and dine on the hog, no. I'm not extravagant and selfish, that was all prep work for a chance like this. But enough excuses. In that way as well, the event was proceeding as planned. You urgent news, sir. A soldier burst into the room. I guess we had a problem. As one would expect, there were guards posted all around this reception hall, including the personal bodyguards of the political figures inside. The area around the building was thus full of people, and if there was an issue out there, it was likely to be a serious one. What's up? What happened? I spoke slowly to the soldier to calm him down. I'd love to run out and see things for myself, but I couldn't act agitated right now. But before the soldier could answer, a large contingent of bodyguards from all manner of nations tore into the room at great haste. Seriously, what was going on here? Our security program was supposed to be perfect. If we had an incident on our hands, something seriously went wrong. I didn't sense any particularly large aura approaching. This wasn't a monster attack. If it was, it would have been detected sooner. Milim and Carrion were a bit late, but their arrival wouldn't trigger a panic like this. So what could it be? The soldier turned toward me. A large flying object has flown in. It's outside of town. As he spoke, the other bodyguards were giving their own reports to their respective bosses, shouting in loud voices. Reporting, sir. The Emperor of the Sorcerous Dynasty of Talion has appeared. It's an emergency. The Heavenly Emperor, Elmacia El Rutalion herself, has set foot upon this land. Her Excellency the Emperor and her entourage are walking toward this reception hall. I was freaking out for a moment, but to sum it up, this was just the Emperor of Talion arriving a little late. Phew. That's a relief. I was wondering what was up. I breathed a sigh of relief. But Gazel, who deigned to get up from his seat to approach me, was sighing for other reasons. Just as thoughtless and ignorant as ever, eh? What else would happen if Emperor Elmacia left her borders? I know we're all trying to gauge one another at this event, even me, but the Emperor herself is simply too much to handle. I am sure even those not in attendance tonight are hurriedly sending missives back to their homelands. What do you mean? I wanted more details, and Gazel was just waiting for the chance to give me some. He just loves to go on about all his knowledge in front of me, like some kind of genius, but it did help me, I realized, so I resolved not to complain too loudly. As he put it, the Sorcerous dynasty of Thalion was a large country, one as strong as the armed nation of Dwagan, despite being fully independent with no involvement in the Council of the West. Plus, as the term dynasty suggested, it was a federation of 13 distinct kingdoms. In terms of power, the Council of the West was definitely the biggest force out there, but given its parliamentarian system, it couldn't immediately carry out policy at a moment's notice. Dwagan, on the other hand, was a monarchy under Gazel, so while it fell behind in overall power, its statement still held sway with the Western nations. The same was true of Thalion. Elmacia holds immense power in Thalion. She's hailed as a descendant of divinity, and she's the one who declared herself Heavenly Emperor in the first place. I don't know how divine she is, exactly, but it's absolutely true that Thalion was founded by a high elf named Elmacia. That woman's been around for longer than Thalion itself. It wasn't even remotely on the same scale. Dwagan's history extended back for 1,000 years. Compared to that, it was said Thalion could trace its roots back over 2 millennia. Do you see what I mean now, Rimuru? Even I have to be respectful to Elmacia. And imagine if you were human, with your short lifespan. Why, you would never have a chance to meet her in your life, even if you wanted to. Given Gazel's obvious distaste for her, Elmacia must have been one tough cookie to deal with. I meant to invite only Archduke Erald, I think, but I guess we've landed someone even bigger. Yeah, you know, I guess it's important to write a name down on your invitations, isn't it? I don't think that's the problem, a peeved-looking Gazel replied. But she was here, and I had nothing to counter him with. We'd just have to give her the best service we possibly could. As we spoke, a commotion erupted near the entrance. Looks like she's arrived. Stay on your guard, Rimuru. Think of her as the slyest old fox you'll ever see. If that's how Gazel put it, I suppose I'd have to resign myself to some serious competition. I gave him a powerful nod, showing him I was ready to accept this. The hall was in a furor. As I suppose it would be. Here, after all, was an emperor of a vastly powerful nation, one who apparently hadn't even made a public appearance in decades. Most everyone in the room would normally never get a chance to see her their whole lives. Elmacia el-Ruthalion, the leader who declared herself Heavenly Emperor, solemnly strode inside. Everyone there no doubt thought of her as the personification of beauty. They all watched her silently, captured by her presence. Even me, I think, especially since, externally, she looked like such a beautiful young girl. Her skin was like fresh snowfall, her hair a shiny silver. Her ears were long and pointed at the ends, her penetrating eyes the color of jade. She was female, judging by what Gazel said, no denying that. A high elf purebred from the fairy races, then. If not, then they must be closely related. Fairies came in all sorts of types, I suppose, but some were descended from the high-ranking spirit classes, and maybe this Elmacia was an example of that, a menace from ancient times. No wonder Gazel was wary of her.